Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, Monday, I brought the energy. Today, are you bringing the energy?
Yes, you don't have energy today?
No, I have plenty of energy.
I've had 18 cups of coffee. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, true. Me too.
It's a podcast, not a cast pod. Every day she'll make you say, oh my God.
She got the scoop. The poop. It ain't what you think. It's Sarah and the crew. She thinks we have poop.
I've had
All right.
4 sips of wine. Honest to God, I got up this morning, 5:55 a.m. Not even on an alarm. I just wake up. And, you know, from years of doing morning radio, because we get up at 3:30 in the morning. And then when you were there at 99.5, I mean, your ass better be on.
That was years ago. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Okay, I'm not a morning person.
I did it for like 6 years nonstop. And, you know, if you didn't bring the energy starting at 5:30 in the morning, I mean, my co-host would shut our mics off. So, you know, you just had the energy. You had it.
So, like, by like 9 o'clock a.m., are you like tired? Like the show's over, like by that time?
No, you know me, 4 p.m. So my schedule has, for years and years, was always, because even post 99.5 at 107.3, it was always 3:30, 4 a.m. Get up, you do the show till 10. Go home, you have your lunch, you show prep, then you send all the show prep for the next day. Then you kind of wind down 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. If Sarah's awake at 5 o'clock, I'm like, I know this is pushing it, Sarah, but for tomorrow's show, and you're like already asleep. I don't get a response till 3 in the morning, and I'm like already asleep. Obviously, I'm asleep at that time.
Last night in bed, 8:55. 8:55.
Mouth guard on, PJs on, in bed, and I'm like, you're psycho.
It's so true. You guys, we have such a jam-packed show today. We are live on YouTube. It's just HeyFrase. Be sure to subscribe, share with a friend that has never heard of the podcast. We are super excited about our new YouTube adventure. We're live every Monday, every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're no longer live on Facebook, okay, y'all? We're going to be putting up videos. We're going to be putting the show on later at a different time. You'll be able to catch it. But for now, if you want to catch us live and live chat, we are always on YouTube. That is where you can find us. So I'm really excited about today because a friend of AJ's who she just admires and adores so much, Deborah Alfarone, who is a former journalist. Now she's a confidence coach. She's a TED Talk speaker. And she's just a woman with a really kick-ass story.
Like the best. And I think should we just wait until she comes in for us to like explain the whole thing?
Well, give people a little teaser because she is just this really inspiring background story that you had shared with me. So give us like a little teaser of what that is.
From the first moment I met her, she just had this big smile on her face and her face just lit up the whole entire newsroom. And like when I was there, I'll just get into her story because I'll just go into how amazing she is. But she dropped out of high school. She came from a very difficult background and she overcame every single challenge that came her way. And I love stories like this. They're so inspiring. And I feel like when so many people get around her, they're just able to hear her story and learn from her. And I can't wait to get her. I mean,
oh, I know. From like dating a guy who was basically a complete drug addict,
right?
You know, and then she ends up being able to get away from him and thank God survives that situation.
Right.
Then gets into news when she had like no background. It's really good. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, I like to hear people that worked their ass off in the industry and it paid off.
Yes.
Like 100-fold. And yeah, incredible.
I'm dying to get all her confidence tips, like all her things. So it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. We got a jam-packed Joe. Who else we have?
Well, Christy Dondero Betway is also, she's a friend of mine, and she also runs the organization Rock Recovery. So she's going to be stopping by this Saturday. Building Bridges, Breaking Bread is an event that they have every single year. I've hosted for the past 3 years, and their organization raises money for men and women who are battling eating disorders. You guys know that eating disorders, mindful eating, body confidence is really close to my heart. So she's going to just pop in and talk about how you can get involved with Saturday's event if you're around, and just, you know, to better articulate what their organization is all about. So we're going to have her pop on. But I did want to talk a few stories before we have our guests on, because there's so much going on news-wise that, you know, I mean, of course, I need you to weigh in on everything.
Let me weigh in. Tell me what we got. Let me weigh in.
Well, I'm obsessed with the story of the guy who bought out. Did you see this guy that went viral this week who bought out all the Girl Scout cookies for the troop, like in North Carolina, only to be arrested the next day from the DEA? Oh, it's in South Carolina by the DEA for basically peddling and like selling heroin.
Apart from the sugar, apart from the cookies. Like this man, well, no. I don't
know why.
He's got the munchies. Like, no wonder he's hungry.
The poor guy, and he's a good citizen.
All right, well, no, okay. At first, when I saw this story, I was like, oh my God, he's like a crazy man, drug addict that's like trying to get little girls to hop in his van.
No.
He's really straight up buying these cookies. Good intentions.
A sweet story about a man who tried to help out some South Carolina Girl Scouts has now turned ugly. The man who bought 121 boxes of cookies last Friday so 2 Girl Scouts could get out of the rain was arrested the following day by the DEA.
Oh, God.
Dietrich Lee McGowan, a.k.a. Fat, I love that name. He's very skinny, by the way, was one of 10 people charged in an indictment for importing heroin, coke, fentanyl from Mexico, among other charges. The DEA said that McGowan is the same man who posed for a photo with the Girl Scouts after buying all of the cookies they were selling in front of a grocery store. The picture was posted on Facebook, and the story of McGowan's generosity had been shared more than 5,000 times. It's since been deleted by the Girl Scouts as well as local news outlets.
This, you know,
Why take it down, though?
why take it down? He's a good Samaritan. Oh,
Aren't we all living a double life?
are we all?
I mean, aren't we? I mean, maybe some to more extremes than others, right? But I mean, come on. Who's going home and like not doing something?
I feel like this is a story that turned wrong. He was trying to do the good thing, and
Oh my God, it's so cute. I know.
he looks so cute there.
McGowan is charged with conspiracy to possess and intent to distribute controlled substances, conspiracy to import controlled substances, conspiracy to commit bulk cash smuggling of over $1 million. That seems serious.
All right,
I'm not
yikes.
gonna lie.
I've seen this like a lot of counts there. What was that, like 5 just right there?
Like 5.
Okay. Well, maybe he's enjoying those Girl Scout cookies before he goes to jail.
I always love criminals too. Like at some point, criminal behavior kind of becomes the norm for you, so you forget like regular things in society, like probably posing for a
With
picture.
pictures that could go viral on the news, like buys out all cookies.
Let me ask you this: so if you're the Girl Scouts, if you're the mom of those Girl Scouts that got the $500 buyout and sold all those, samosas,
I know
like,
those moms.
Do you keep the cash or do you return it? Like, what do you do? Because I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah, you
basically
keep the
it's drug money.
cash.
Do you take the drug money?
You know they have those competitions for Girl Scout cookies? Who can sell the most Girl Scout cookies? If
I
you're
know.
that soccer mom, she's like, hell yeah, we're keeping the money. My daughter won. Sold all the Girl Scout cookies.
I just wonder what you do if you give the money back or not.
Absolutely not. It's going to a good cause, right? That's drug money turned good.
I know. I just wondered if you would do something different.
Hell no. I'm keeping the cash. All right. Well,
Okay, but besides this job, all right, did you ever work at did you ever work at a Starbucks, any major retail, any major grocery store, Safeway, Giant? Did you do any jobs like that?
I worked at a bagel shop. I've had so many flower shop.
Okay,
But not like a big chain grocery store.
Well, my question to you is, there's a new story out that's discussing when you work in these environments, like lots of times they play the same repetitive music over and over.
Oh, yes, yes.
So repetitive music played at a Starbucks or grocery chains, can it negatively impact the service industry workers? Do you think yes or no?
Hell yes. I would go crazy. That's like a form of punishment. When like the police are trying to get something out, they'll just replay a horrendous song.
I'm trying to think of like all the jobs that I've had in the past. Okay, I did work at a bowling center, but I feel like they would play all kinds of different music. Like, because I mean, a bowling alley is the best place to see like all the different varieties of America, really. Like one night you'd have redneck night, like one night was hip hop night. Like every night was a different crowd. It was so good.
Walmart is
Oh my God. Have you been to a Walmart recently?
Hell yeah. If you go at like midnight, you see all the creatures come out.
When have you gone to Walmart?
Okay.
What?
Upstate New York, where Schmiggy's from, that's like all they do. Like they love to go to Wegmans, Walmart, I mean, they have a lot of wineries up there too. But like Walmart is the place to go.
Oh, that used to be the hangout for us too. You
Yeah,
go.
well, Maine, hello.
Yeah, now I go sometimes. They have the super Walmart that's got the grocery store plus everything. It's like a fucking mile
You could
wide.
live, yeah.
Like a mile long. I'm like,
That's a place that would play the same soundtrack over and over again.
I know, it's such a mess. And literally in the winter, because it's so bad in Maine, you'll have the power walkers in there. They just go from like angle to angle. I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? Like,
No other
people
place to-
are in here power walking in camo.
Oh, yeah, you'll see some camo at Walmart too.
It's amazing. I mean, but it is great because, you forget, like, when you live here where we do in this, like, elite city, like, you go in to buy something and, like, a chicken breast is $11 and you go there and it's 99 cents. And I'm always like, fuck, are you kidding? They sell chicken breasts outside in America for 99 cents?
Are you shopping at Whole Foods or Walmart?
Whole Foods.
Hell yeah, you're shopping at Whole Foods. Well, I know Schmano loves to go to Whole Foods every day. That's
You know
that's
the
his
reality
Walmart.
that is going to hit us when we have a fucking kid? The reality. Because Schman goes to Whole Foods multiple times a week.
Multiple times a week.
He makes his green smoothie has to be $25. He loads it with kale, with cucumbers.
That green
Protein
smoothie alone.
mix. Oh, it's $25.
Schmano.
It's a $25.
Have
Half an
a
avocado.
juicer?
Of course we have a juicer. Are
Hey, you guys
kidding?
got all the kitchen utensils you could
Oh.
ever want.
He just bought the garlic grinder. The little, you put the garlic thing and you squeeze, it chops it for you.
That just sounds like bad farts. That literally garlic chopper farts.
We just had to have vegan shepherd's pie last
Oh,
night.
yum, Sarah. Mmm.
With all the lentils.
I love hearing your vegan recipes because I'm like, wow, that sounds so good. I'm lying.
Well, it'll be interesting because we have a big date night this Friday night. You, myself, Liz.
Oh, yes. And Shimano's the only man?
Shmano is the only guy coming, I think.
Why isn't Liz's husband coming?
I don't. Liz's husband might be coming. By the way, Liz is our director of sales and marketing. I think like on Monday when I was talking about her, I was like, oh, she's our representative of sales and marketing. I think I completely mutilated her title.
And then she called you and was like,
Yeah.
fix that, bitch.
Yeah.
That's not my position.
I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, director. Anyway, okay. we have so many people helping out today. It's so funny. There's a lot of people, right? It's a lot of people in the studio, and then the doors are open, and like
it's just like air is flowing in.
It's just people coming in and out. All right, I got off track, but apparently, a new study says that people at Starbucks are highly annoyed and believe that playing soundtracks on repeat, like Hamilton, are damaging to their mental health.
Wait, Starbucks? How can you even hear anything in that place?
That's a good question.
I guess if you work there, you hear it behind the counter, right?
I don't know. See, I've never worked at a Starbucks, but I wonder if, I don't know if she can pop in studio, but Christina, who's one of our interns, she's our graphic designer. Could she come in? She works at a hair salon.
Oh, yes.
And I think they have soundtracks all the time. By the way, now this was done by a CBC Radio 1 program. They followed a number of different workers at different places from grocery stores to retail. And they said one of the biggest complaints of employees is how harmful it is to have the same soundtrack over and over, that it's debilitating.
I could see that for sure.
And the research is still being done. Okay, Christina, hop on this mic. You work at a hair salon where?
Wait, say that one more time?
Yeah.
Ellicott City, Maryland.
And do they play like a soundtrack there every day, like over and over?
So we can control the music, but when I first started working there, they played the same playlist on Spotify or whatever every single day. I was hearing like these same songs, and at first I'm like, oh, wait, I really like these songs. Like, I've never heard them. And at the end, I was like,
after a month, you're like, guys,
oh my God, we got to switch this up.
I can't take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it's actually damaging to your mental health?
I think so, because if you already don't really enjoy going to the place that you work, like I enjoy working there, but if you don't enjoy the place that you work, and then on top of that, you're like, wow, and then I'm going to have to like listen to this same shitty music all day long. Like that's kind of,
it's
unmotivating, I would say.
Is the reasoning that they just want clean music, so they just choose a playlist that they already know is safe?
Yeah, they can't play anything.
Okay.
You can't play any Snoop Dogg. You can't play anything real.
And then Christmas, oh my God, Christmas.
I would want to kill myself, yeah.
Fuck that noise.
It was even worse because it wasn't just like the old school classics that I kind of like enjoy because they are like, I don't know, they remind me of like when I was a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
We were playing like the modern pop Christmas music, and some of the songs were just
wasn't
so
for
cheesy.
you. Wasn't for no.
And there's only so many of those, and we listened to them on repeat for like a month and a half. It was awful.
Apparently, it's really debilitating, according to a neuroscientist, and they recommend if someone is in control of your sonic environment, that you should try to have communication between your bosses and coworkers to liven up the music monotony.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that. I mean, what are the fucking choices? Like, I mean,
Sarah, I'm tired of our theme song, so lighten up the monotony. All right, switch it up.
No problem. Let's go more X-rated. I mean, that's where we're headed. Thank you, Christina. We love
welcome.
you. You're amazing. All right, a couple more stories before we get Christy on here. So I'm obsessed with, I don't know how I missed this on the internet, but it could be my new favorite thing. Have you seen this automatic sex machine that is like going viral? This looks so awesome.
Oh, God, Sarah.
Have you seen this? It's called For Lazy Lovers, and it looks like a giant strap-on that basically pushes your genitals together really quickly at different speed settings. So, like, you can lay side by side and have sex. Like, this is for people in relationships 10 years or more.
Okay, so we're just like, we're donezo. We're like, there's no steam left in the relationship, but like,
None.
we still need to get off.
This sounds amazing.
Strap me up.
I'm the laziest fucking lay. Like, I would love this so much.
No, you say this all the time, but you always talk about how horny you are. So I'm like, how can you be horny and a lazy lay? It doesn't add up.
Well, because you can still be horny on your side. Like, I mean, I do all the. I'm honestly trying to think the last time, like, I can't even think the last time, like, I got on the bed, off the bed, moved around. Like, I've got, like, we always are like, hey, you want to have tired sex, babe?
Wait, you guys have a name for it? Okay, yeah. That's the end of it. When you start identifying that it's lazy sex, it's over. You're like, okay, what happens when you guys have an exciting night of sex? Like,
well, we usually Schman and I only usually do that when we're like away somewhere, so we don't have our regular bed routine. Like if we're not in our regular bed, then it's exciting because you're like, you've got to like stand up somewhere different, or you've got to like, or we're sleeping on different sides of the bed. It gets hot, gets really interesting.
Real hot with your mouth guards. I'm going to try to pull this video up because I'm dying to know what.
Oh my God, we have to play this on our YouTube page.
Right, so they're strapping each
energy for sex anymore. With customizable
Is this real?
settings, you and your partner
be
can
warned.
set the speed, depth, and angle of each thrust.
And with the jackhammer settings, no matter
Oh my God,
how
no.
light
Oh my
you're
God, no.
feeling, you can still take your lover to the limit.
There, I feel personally.
Amazing.
Just strap on the included neck brace to avoid unwanted
Yes.
The steel hydraulic oil delivery system provides each joint with
What is
consistent
pumping up?
lubrication. Any overflow oil is then delivered to the
Sarah, this is a
genitals
joke.
to prevent heat rash.
I know, I don't think it's
The
real.
entire system is powered with clean
You
cold
really had me believing this is a thing.
technology. So you
What is
can
this? This
rest
is as seen on
assured
TV
knowing that you're
shopping.
saving
Like,
planet. One lazy
I'm disgusted.
It was shared with me. Listeners share with me the best stories.
You know who's sharing? The creepers that slide into your DMs like, let me see your toes. This is who's sending you this shit. And you know what? They're getting satisfaction out of watching this. Look at that. The person. Oh, it's machine washable. You can put it in the dishwasher.
See, I think it's brilliant.
Disgusting.
I wish things like that existed in real life.
Have you
Like,
shown
I
this
wish
to
they were
Schmano?
real. Yeah.
Tell him this
showed it
is
to
what
him.
you dream of doing on your wedding night.
I was like,
You're gonna break his heart.
what? Are you kidding? He's exhausted too. He was totally down.
Hashtag soccer never sleeps. Schmano gets home so tired from kicking around balls all day. He's like, the last thing I want to do is stick my balls in you. Like, is that what? How can you be so
Exactly.
tired from soccer?
It's a long day. It's a lot going on out there in the fields.
Like he's out there in battle. It's a long day in the fields.
It's a tough one out there on those soccer fields.
I can't wait to badger him this Friday night when we go on a date night.
It's
He's
just
just
like
like-
3 women, 1 guy. 3 girls, 1 Dan.
Can Schmano handle?
I mean, I'm sure. Like Schmano will be in heaven. I mean, it will be his joy. I'm sure.
He's definitely going to get one of those craft beers.
Of course, please. And then what's he going to order? We're going to a barbecue joint. He's just going to be able to get the beans.
Curious about that. I was going to ask you, like, what are the vegan options there? Like steamed cauliflower?
They have kale. They have a kale option.
Oh, thank God.
What are you
Just
ordering
kale?
that?
What? I'm going to rip his new asshole. I'm going to be like, bitch, you better be ordering the ribs because we ain't going to be sitting here with a vegan in a barbecue place. What's the owner going to say?
I think they're kind of aware that he's like a vegan. I think now every restaurant, even barbecue joints in the
We're
DMV,
trying to accommodate.
have a vegan option.
Vegans.
We'll have to ask this when we get Deborah on. But now apparently the trend is for anti-vaxxers. Is your family anti-vax? Is your mom?
Huge. Oh my God, you know my mom.
Is your mom an anti-vaxxer? Are you vaccinated?
The
you
moment
could be like,
somebody says they took a flu shot, I like close my ears because I know my mom is like holding back tears. She's like, why would you get the flu shot?
so your mom thinks what is happening when people get the flu shot?
She thinks the flu shot actually inseminates the flu into you and then you just spread the flu. You know, she's like one of those huge, like, what do you call? I don't even know how to describe her. She's just like against the flu shot.
She's an
doesn't believe it.
anti-vaxxer.
She's an anti-vaxxer. She does not want to get her dogs fixed. She believes in free range.
What? But why wouldn't you spade and neuter your animals?
I don't know. My mom just thinks that it cuts down their libido, like it's not healthy for them. It's like just chopping off a man's livelihood. I don't know. She's against it.
Okay, well, I guess this story is about your mom because this is apparently a rise in anti-vaxxers not getting their animals vaccinated.
Yeah, well, we get the deworm, we get the normal ones that are required, but they now came out with the flu shot for dogs, and my mom really was like, you better not give my dog that. Yeah, and I think they did anyways, and she was livid.
No kidding.
She had some word for the vet. I was like, I'm going to leave the room. Mom, you handle this one. I was like, I don't want to be here for this.
They should have interviewed her for this. Apparently, the trend for not vaccinating your pets is now more prevalent in hipstery areas such as Brooklyn. There is no evidence to confirm a causal link between vaccinations and these dog owners who believe that their animals could be susceptible to getting autism. What?
Oh, God. If my mom was here right now, she'd be like, I knew it.
That is
Bad.
insane. More and more dog owners are wondering and questioning if vaccines lead to autism in your pet. Can an animal even be autistic? What?
I don't know how we would be able to detect that at all.
Veterinarians that were interviewed for the article say it's a worrying trend, particularly when you consider how vulnerable dogs and cats are to disease since they're out in mud, grass, digging things up. It can leave them vulnerable to harmful conditions if you don't vaccinate. That is bananas. I mean, I love your mom though; she's hysterical.
Oh yeah, she's like she's an extremist. It's like one side or the other. It's like vaccinate or don't vaccinate. Do not vaccinate. That's her take on it.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, but I gotta ask Deborah because she loves her little man Murray.
All right, let's get Christy in here. Christy Dondero Betway, we love. She runs Rock Recovery, which is an amazing organization. They sponsored the Mindful Eating event, by the way.
Yes.
Shane is on our YouTube live stream. He says 3 girls, 1 guy sounds awesome. Penny is on AJAM, in love with your shirt. Is that a HeyFrase original?
We wish. Shein.com. I bought one for Sarah and me as well. You can get it on Shein.com.
Advantage Financial, we have to shout them out too. We're going to be talking about them. Hi, Christy.
Hey, my love. How you doing, Sarah?
So good.
I know. So good to see you.
Thank you so much for being a part of our mindful eating seminar on Sunday. Rock Recovery was awesome, and we had the most amazing group. So
I'm so glad.
The start of something terrific.
Great.
We were talking about, we introduced Rock Recovery. We have many times over the years, but you guys have an awesome event coming up. I get to host this Saturday. Tell us a little bit about the organization and how people, are there still tickets available?
There are a few tickets available, so don't let FOMO drag you down. Yeah.
Okay.
It can still happen.
Tell me a little about Rock Recovery. I love your mission.
Sure. So Rock Recovery is a DC-based nonprofit that helps people overcome disordered eating. And as you guys all know, it's really rampant in our society, and a lot of people struggle with food and body image, and it just sucks the joy and the fun out of their life. So we help people with treatment programs that are affordable and then educational and prevention programs. And it is actually National Eating Disorder Awareness Week this week. And the theme is Come As You Are, which is such a great invitation to us in this world where we're told to basically change ourselves, look a different way. You can't be thin enough. You can't be this kind of hair enough, right?
Everything.
Everything. Right. You're never enough. And then when you spend all the money to become one thing, then it changes and that's not enough. So it's just a fruitless process. So we really help people kind of accept their true, authentic selves and come as they are. And so this Saturday is our 10th anniversary benefit dinner. So amazing. We've been doing this work for 10 years and they haven't fired me yet or anything else. Which
would not happen.
Right? It's job security. We're going to be here for a while. So we have our big anniversary benefit dinner on Saturday from 7 to 10 at City Winery in Northeast DC. Sarah will be our lovely MC per usual.
I think this is is this my 3rd year?
I think
is it 3rd or 4th? I don't know.
3rd, yeah.
It's such a great event.
To come. Yeah,
I love
great.
you guys. You do amazing work. And we heard it, the stories just of, it was mostly women. We had one like brave guy in the class, but just the stories of like all the different eating disorders and distorted eating that women have gone through. It's so difficult. So your work is really important.
Thank you. Yeah, we love it. We're so grateful for your support. This is great.
Cool. So people can find out more on your website.
Yep, rockrecoveryed.org. And the information's all there on the webpage.
Where can people follow you on social?
On Facebook, it's Rock Recovery ED, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's Rock Recovery.
Now, what's your deal? Do you have a pet?
What's our deal? A pet?
Yeah. Do you have a pet? Do you vaccinate your animal?
We've covered a wide range of topics today. This is like a lot of whiplash, guys.
Yeah,
I know. It's amazing. I don't have a pet. I am vaccinated, but if I had a pet, I don't know what I would do.
It's a tough call.
It's a tough call. I mean, I'd probably vaccinate him, but there's so much out there. And working with disordered eating, there's so many things that I feel like are fear mongering, and I sometimes wonder if this is one more thing where we're just being forced to be afraid of something we shouldn't be afraid of.
I know. Yeah, it really is. There is a lot of fear mongering out, isn't there?
There is. There really is. So yeah, I never had a dog, and my parents never took me to Disney World, so I was really neglected as a child. I like to remind my mother, I'm like, this is,
Never been to Disney World either.
Well, we can have a support
I didn't
group.
either.
I really am sad about that.
Me too.
I know. Yeah.
I see all the posts now, and I have FOMO.
Yeah, like
I never went as a kid either.
We've never gone. Like, what's wrong with this? Yeah,
it's amazing. Right. I ended up taking my niece a couple years ago, and it was so cool to see. It's even worse. Wait till you have a kid and you bring your child, and then you're like, "Mom, thanks a lot." Like, you guys
wasn't everything you
down
imagined?
here.
Was it great?
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. Have you guys been as adults? Have you been
No.
ever to Disney World?
Now I'm too bitter. Yeah.
What? Oh my God.
Revolting against Disney World.
Yeah.
I will not go.
We'll show them.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the most amazing place on earth. It really is. Like
Wow.
it.
Okay, thanks. You're really.
No, I'm gonna rub it in.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you gotta go. Our parents did us a disservice. It
I
was
know.
bad.
All right. Redemption tour. We can go together.
rockrecoveryed.org. We're going to see you guys this weekend. I will be there, City Winery. Of course, proceeds, if you buy a ticket, go to your amazing organization. You guys have support groups, some that are free, right? Some that are, for members.
Yep. So we just actually moved into our first ever space of our own. No more church basements for us. We're going to have our own legit space, which are great. But we're across the bridge in Roslyn, and we'll be offering a lot more groups with meals, therapy, things for body image, yoga. We're just really trying to help people do the whole range of things they need to get better and love their bodies.
Love it. Please support Rock Recovery. If you can't come Saturday night, you can always make a donation on their website. It's rockrecoveryed.org. One more time. I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you for stopping by.
Can't wait. Thanks for having me.
Got the whole eclectic version of the show today, as you know.
I'm really honored. Thank you.
We covered the whole thing. All right. We love you. We'll see you on Saturday.
Love you.
Thank you. I want to just thank a couple of our sponsors, and then we'll get Deborah on because we have a lot to talk about with Deborah. Dr. Mary from Total Dental Care in Maryland is amazing. I can't even tell you how good my teeth are. I wish I could get a close-up of my gums. They've improved so much since I've been wearing my night guard.
Should we revisit the What's in Sarah's Mouth video?
We've got to. Well, of course, we'll do when I get my cavities filled because I have three cavities and periodontal disease.
I never see you eat candy. Well, cavities can come in many different. It's not just eating candy.
I think it's from my teeth grinding is what they kind of think. Like it loosens
Wears
the
it down.
cavity. Yeah. But now I've got my great mouth guard.
Yes.
I've got my dentist. I've got my prescription toothpaste that I use at night. So it's amazing.
All prescribed by Dr. Mary.
All Dr. Mary. Luis is going there too. He's having his first dental appointment. And they never shame you, by the way. So Luis hasn't been to the dentist. Look, I'm disclosing everything about poor Luis. Yeah. He hasn't been to the dentist. Like how many years, Luis?
Turn your volume up a little bit.
I will not turn up my volume for this.
I refuse.
I'm putting him on the spot, but whatever. You haven't been for a few years. You're not alone. Tons of people watching and listening are there.
Likes dentist, but I met Dr. Mary when she came in here that one time.
Yes.
Total sweetheart.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be 1 ounce scared when I walk in there.
She's amazing. So Total Dental Care is a one-stop shop for all your dental needs: general dentistry, periodontics, oral surgery, pediatric dentistry, sedation, and much more. They truly care about providing comprehensive quality care for the entire fam, which is what inspired them to create a facility that can treat every member of the family at every age. They are offering a special $99 for new patients, which includes a cleaning for non-perio patients with bite wings, x-rays, and exam. If you're tired of dealing with a dentist that pushes you in, pushes you out, Total Dental Care MD.com in Germantown, Maryland. Tell them HeyFrase sent you. That's the best way you can support this podcast is by supporting the awesome people who sponsor us. So definitely check out Dr. Mary. We also have to thank Advantage Financial Credit Union. I have major news. I'll actually reveal that next week.
Oh,
because I feel like we have like major announcements about the show, like involving you,
Oh, yes.
involving the business. But I'll just say Advantage Financial has been unbelievable. They are DC based. So for DC based residents, they're right over at Gallaudet Metro Stop in Northeast DC. And they are all about no fees. They give you money, $50 when you sign up for a new account because they believe that you shouldn't be giving all your fees and money away to them. They're a credit union too, which credit union versus bank. A bank is for profit. Credit union is about the people that started it and giving back. That's why they can offer lower interest rates, no fees, and so much more. They also have an awesome event coming up too. If you're tired of renting your apartment and if you need a great tax break, you do want a place to call, and you want a place to call home with amenities and without the hassle. Advantage Financial Federal Credit Union is hosting a free homebuyers workshop on Saturday, March 9th at 1200 First Street Northeast. Anyone is welcome to attend, whether you're ready to buy today or in 5 years. Come learn how to buy a home. You can register for the workshop on Eventbrite, and as I mentioned, it's totes free. There will be free mimosas, a fabulous brunch, and fun goodie bags. They are a lot of fun there. We've been over.
They're so much fun. I also heard mimosas, so.
Parking is limited. They encourage you to take the Red Line Metro. As I mentioned, Noma Gallaudet U is the station. And you could just walk. It's like literally a block away. You can see it. You can also hit up their page, and that's the HeyFrase page. Go to advfcu.org/pod. Okay? That's the page that you can go to. It's actually /podcast. advfcu.org/podcast. That's where you'll get more information about their free homebuyer seminar that is coming up. You can also sign up for a bank account. Again, this is for DC residents, so be sure to check your availability. All right, let's get Deborah Alfarone in studio, former reporter, journalist at WUSA 9 here in DC. She's now a confidence coach. I'm very curious about that. Also a high school dropout who became a TED Talk speaker. So talk about an inspirational woman, overcame everything. And she's here today with her dog, Murray. Yes! Murray, come on in. Murray. Oh
this
my
little
God.
guy is a rescue pup. He's incredible.
Deborah, get like Ray on that microphone, girl. We have so much to talk to you about.
Okay, I'm right here. Murray is right here. We are so pumped to be here.
Okay, what do you think about our confidence levels, AJ and myself? What do you think? Do we have enough confidence or are we lacking?
You ladies have balls like nobody other. Okay, your ball level is up here.
Our lady nuts are like
Your
really
lady
hanging
nuts.
out.
Yeah, hairy lady nuts that are
Seriously.
long schlongs.
Well, I wasn't going there exactly, AJ, but okay, you took it there, which is what I expect her to do. Because you guys got balls.
Oh my God.
Love you both.
We love you.
I love you too.
I think a lot of women and men that listen to this show are going to take away some great things because
Yay.
When did you do this TED Talk that really, got a lot of attention for you, thousands of views? When was that?
So it was 2015.
Okay.
And you know what? I came here to DC to work at WUSA 9. And I moved from New York. I'm a New Yorker.
Long Island?
Hell yeah. Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island.
Right. And so I got here and I kind of had some extra time because I didn't know people. And I was getting used to being here. It's a different place, right? And I kind of did some soul searching and realized that if you have a story, it is incumbent upon you to tell it. Because if you don't tell your story, you're not helping other people. Like, I can go tell other people's stories, and I was doing that and doing great at that. But if you don't tell your story and you have a really important one that could help people, you just sleeping on the job.
So is that okay? Because that's interesting to me because I feel like in TV now, as TV has sort of evolved, now most stations expect anchors to give their opinions, to like really kind of share who they are, which really wasn't the case necessarily. I'm going to say 6 years ago, 8 years ago,
Right.
So when you started, were you nervous about like any backlash you were going to get at work or what people were going to say by really sharing who your true story, like your true background, which we'll talk about?
Yeah, no, actually, I never thought twice about it.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought twice about it. And I had really great managers who were just like, yeah, you got to tell your story. And honestly, my best friend there was Bruce Johnson, who is a legend in news in DC. And Bruce, it's so funny. When I told Bruce my story and when he watched the TEDx talk, he was like, good. I do a good Bruce impression, by the way. He's like, good. Now I know you're interesting. Like he's like, you gotta go through some crap to get to the other side. Right. You gotta have some crap in your life.
So
agreed.
You know what's really I loved about the TED Talk and just watching you over the years is you on camera you look right. If I was like making just a flash judgment about you, you look like a wealthy woman from Long Island, blonde hair, beautiful, gorgeous white teeth, all put together. But your childhood was like the opposite of that.
It's actually one of the reasons why I tell what I tell, because I think people do make a snap judgment on you when they look at you. And hey, yeah, like I like to try and look nice and put on the makeup and do the hair and everything. But people don't know. And when they look at you and they judge you by your cover, they don't know that I was a high school dropout, that I had a really tough childhood. I ran away from home umpteen times. I put myself in danger many times. And I really shouldn't be here. Like if I have a movie about my life one day, and let's all hope that we do, right? It should be titled, I Shouldn't Be Here, because there's no reason with my background that I should have made it to be a TV anchor in the nation's capital.
So you talk about a turning point was your parents getting divorced. And when your parents got divorced, your mom became a single mother. You lived with her. And of course, she had all kinds of stuff going on with herself. So wasn't really able to check in with you, so that's why you were out late. You were you basically say you were doing whatever you wanted.
whatever the heck I wanted. And I think, kids, 13, come on, 12 years old, this is the time when it's so important to have mentors, people who are going to help you along your way. And I was just lost. And, if you're 13 and you're going to raise yourself, well, you're going to learn a lot. And it ain't all good. So I made a lot of mistakes. I ended up dropping out of high school. And, for a while there, I had labels, so to speak, that I didn't ever think would change. I didn't know anyone who did what I did.
Right.
I didn't know lots of successful people. Hell, I didn't know anybody that was successful. So, the fact that I can do it, that's why I tell my story. And it led to not just a TEDx talk, but I would go into organizations where people were formerly incarcerated, and I'd walk in there to, a home in Southeast, and I would talk to, like 20 gentlemen who had been in jail. And, I'm a white woman standing there, they're black men, and they're looking at me, and like within 10 minutes, we are just having a great talk, and we are friends. And that might not happen if I don't tell my story and I don't connect to people, because I know what pain is. If you don't know what pain is, you haven't been through some stuff.
Right.
I'm not saying everyone's pain is the same, but if you haven't been through some stuff, you're pretty boring.
I thought this was interesting too, because again, when you see you never picture you in this life, but you talk about a boyfriend that had a big impact on your youth. He at the time was always sort of driving around trying to score drugs, was either like addicted to cocaine, he and his friends were, and oftentimes you were with them. When you were dating him and in that, and again, you're young, you're like what, 17 at this time? I was
17, yeah.
Was there a moment, whether you guys were driving to Queens or Brooklyn, where you were like, holy shit, this could have really turned out totally differently for me?
I think later on, I realized, like, as a 17-year-old girl, I do stories about kids being sex trafficked. I mean, I do lots of women's issue stories. So, I think back to being 17 years old, being in a car, driving to Spanish Harlem, stopping and buying drugs from a drug dealer. I know what happens. I'm no dummy. I was a reporter. Like, I reported in New York. I reported in D.C. I've reported on the worst things that have happened. And it is just by the grace of God that I'm here. Like, I do know that something bad could happen, but then I didn't realize I just was young and dumb.
Oh, I mean, because we all kind of experienced that, but you experienced it in an entirely different way. How long were you two together?
Gosh, it's so long ago, I forget now. Maybe like a year or something, but yeah.
And then, because you talk about now he's no longer alive. Like in your TED Talk, you talked about how, when
I have several boyfriends who are no longer alive. And it's funny because I don't talk about this that much because it's a long time ago. It's shaped who I am. But it's interesting. It's interesting to talk about it now. Now that I'm thinking about it, they're not here anymore. And I am. And that's why I have to tell my story. And, service is the rent we pay for being on this earth. And so you have to make someone else's day a better day. You have to lift other people up. And that's why I do that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I have to help people have their voice and be powerful.
So when did you're dating this guy, you're in these situations where things could go left at any time. You drop out of high school. What was the turning point? Like, what was the moment? Because that's always interesting to me. Like, some people never have that moment. Like some people, even like as we can observe everything that's going on wrong with their lives and how they could turn it around. But a lot of people get in that mind space and believe like, the world has wronged me. I can't, this happened to me. Someone did this to me. It's all about how everybody else has held them down.
Yeah. And so I probably felt like that at a time too. And what happened to me is there were people who I call label whisperers because they kind of whisper to you like, you could do this, you could be this. And that's why it's so important for me to do that for other people. And believe me, I'm in touch with people that I've done stories on. A young girl who was a heroin addict. We're still friends on Facebook, and I talk to her, and I know that it's a battle for her, but I want to be that person for her. But for me, it was like a random person being like, hey, you could really do this. A boss saying, you could do this. A friend, a teacher. I ended up putting myself through college. And
I love that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of that.
I would be as well.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
AJ, I love you. I steal AJ. She comes with me.
I know. We love you.
She comes with me. And by the way, my outfit is from the same place yours is.
Sheen.com, guys. I know.
I call it Shine. Is it Sheen?
I don't know. I made it up myself. They don't know. Nobody ever says it, right?
Right. It's like
Shine.
BB Baby.
Right.
What the heck is that? But I'm sorry. We digress. I'm sorry. We haven't fashion. Sorry.
But you put yourself, you end up getting your GED. You put yourself through college. You graduate. And is that like, did someone tell you in college? How did you get the idea to then go into television?
Well, I always was the person who loved to tell stories, and I'd go somewhere and go, oh my God, you got to hear about this. Oh my God, Shine, you got to go there to that website. So I was always telling stories. I didn't know that you could do it for a living because I never knew that people did this for a living. I thought you worked in a store growing up. That's what my life was like. But I started to get ideas that maybe I could do this. And honestly, it was 9/11 that made me change my career.
Wow.
And that's something that I talk about in my TEDx talk. Oh, look at Murray hanging out over there. So cute. Sorry, I know. I go from 9/11 to Murray to fashion to, okay. But it was 9/11, and, I think that changed a lot of people's lives. And I was working on Wall Street. Like, I had an okay life. Like, let me tell you, I was living in New York City. I was doing okay. I had a great life, great friends, going out. But I wasn't doing what filled my soul. And you know what it's like.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you do what fills your soul. I know that the two of you have so much fun here. I can see it. I can hear it. And when you do something that fills your soul, it lights you up, and it also gives permission to other people to do what they want to do. And so I just, started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
Wow. I love that she worked as it was like a news assistant carrying the tripods. I'd love to hear the backstory because I think I'm the only one that does that. Like waking up at 3 a.m, doing so I love to hear that.
$10.50 an hour I was paid as a news assistant at New York One. I wonder if they're getting paid more now. But yeah, like I was thrilled. I'd work 1 day a week. I actually, this is great. I was on unemployment then because I had left my job on Wall Street. They gave people buyouts, and so I was on unemployment, which was wonderful. I got to be able to then, pursue my dream. But so I get this job at New York One. I am a camera assistant. Like I'm taking a camera places. I'm getting VOSATs and packages and I won't even explain that. But anyway, I'm getting video. And then I realized that if I worked a full week at New York One, I would make $5 less than sitting at home getting unemployment. That's how little we got paid at that time. And I lived in New York City, and I was still thrilled to do it.
That's amazing. It's even more amazing now. They pay even less in the TV business. I mean, if you
I think you have to pay them.
Yeah, right now you have to pay them.
Please accept me.
Here's $5. Can I come here?
So true.
Can I pay for this internship?
True.
No, okay, wait. I want to talk USA 9 and then departing from USA 9 because I'm always fascinated too. The media business is changing so much. As someone, I could have stayed years at 99.5 and in the radio business, but talk about not soul fulfilling. It was time to leave.
I understand.
But what I find interesting is, did you ever? Now you're a confidence coach, but sometimes in the media business, you work with a lot of men and women who come from great wealth, great background, a lot of connections. Did you ever feel intimidated?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't feel intimidated by people. And then, that's can I curse here?
Yes.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Yeah.
We were saying.
I think we were just pulling like a sex machine
Yeah,
thing.
I kind of heard that. And I was like, Murray, put my hands over Murray's ears, like. But,
the lazy lover. We're like obsessed with that.
Yeah, I know. I need to hear more about that.
Yeah.
That's another day.
Yeah.
So it's a mind fuck. Like being in TV is a mind fuck because what happens is you think that somebody else has something that you have, but guess what? That person goes home and they're looking at you going, oh, I wish I had what she has.
Right.
And that actually, it's a microcosm of the world, but it's on steroids.
Yes.
Because really, how we feel about ourselves is the number one way that we can have confidence and go out there and get things in life, like and get it done.
Yeah.
And I tell this to all my clients because they want to know, like, and I teach journalists, I teach business owners, all sorts of people from all over the country. And what happens is they want, how am I better on camera? Well, how do you feel about yourself? Not so good. Okay, well, I can tell by the way you're talking right now. Like you can really, it's how you feel, it's how you talk. And so there was definitely times, yes, to answer your question, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. It is a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck. Yeah. And people always do look at TV. They look at media personalities like your job is amazing. And you're like, meeting like Snoop Dogg is like one snippet. Literally, that's 2 minutes of like the rest of it is like, a whole bunch of other
behind
shit
the scenes.
That's going on.
Right.
Yeah, getting lost, being in traffic, not eating out of a gas station, peeing on the side of the road. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Freezing your ass
your ass off at 3 a.m, downtown DC. I know you were there.
Oh,
like,
man. I did a lot of that, and I froze my ass off a lot in New York.
Oh,
that's for sure. I did a lot of, my job title was freezing my ass off in New York.
Oh, my God. And so nobody sees that. They just see your beautiful face on TV, and they just think that your life is amazing at that point.
But you're right. But I'm putting on makeup as we're driving over the Brooklyn Bridge in a live truck with like one light, like, and then you get there and you're like, well, I guess we're not going to look cute today. You're not sure what I did there. But yeah, no, it was not cute. Not cute all the time. But the wonderful thing is you get to be an audience member to the world, right? You get to see the world. You get to see a lot of people's lives. And that gives you perspective, right? Like after I do stories about people who are ill or people who have had bad tragedies happen to them, like how could I not be so happy and grateful that my life is what it is?
So you were at USA 9 for 6 years. What gave you the confidence to leave there? Because I mean, a lot of people, you're in a top 10 market, media market. You decide to leave on your own accord. So tell us why you decided to do that and go out on your own.
Well, I always say that people connect with your mess, not your success. And so I always tell the tough parts of my life. I don't really have a filter. I'm okay and I'm an open book because I want people to know what they're going through bad stuff. Like I've been through it too. And so there was new management. The boss wanted to demote me. I'm not going to carry a camera 5 days a week for a place that doesn't really appreciate what I've brought to the table. And that's okay. I don't take any offense to it. The thing is that if I'm not being valued, well, I got other things to do.
Right.
Like life is so short. And I'll tell you, taking that leap has been amazing because then I hear from random people who I don't even know. I'm like,
I love that.
You follow me on Instagram? Like, you know me. I didn't even know you knew me. And they're like, Deborah, I just want to talk to you because I'm thinking of leaving too.
Oh,
and so that gives you the confidence to know that you did the right thing, which I've never looked back.
Yeah, and now I know you're helping other people, and we'll talk about that. And I always think too, it was like in just researching and having you on the show, it was to me like as you got closer to leaving, I felt like you were even more bold and transparent on 9. And I don't know, I don't feel like they always appreciated it. Like for example, it was like this random clip of you talking about how at one point you even were thinking about taking your own life. Like and I feel like they were like, okay, well, and now Deborah Alfarone here, and it was like, yeah, she just like told this deep story, and they're like, all right, so we'll be back with the weather. It was like, is anyone going to comment on the fact this woman like bravely put out her story? And they were like, okay, and when we come back, like
that should have been a whole like cover of. That should have been a whole story.
What's interesting is that on the heels of Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade, who had really great impact in my life, like I knew Tony Bourdain. He took his life. That was really, powerful.
Holy shit. Was that like so crazy when you woke up and heard that?
Yeah. I mean, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I couldn't believe it because I knew him and we looked up to him for so long. Yeah, he was a curmudgeonly and yeah, he was just sarcastic, but he was generous and he did amazing things for me. But so after that, I'm telling this story and I was assigned that story that night and I'm in the newsroom writing the story and I'm thinking to myself, I have a story. Should I share it? This is the time that I need to do it. Like, if I'm going to do it, this is the time. Like, I'm not going to run around and tell this story. Like, I want people to know from someone who tried it and survived that it does get better. And this happened at 13. And, I'm the happiest person you'll ever meet walking down the street with my dog, Murray, who's sitting here right now underneath the podcast desk. I'm thrilled. But it's because I've been through stuff. And so, at that time at 13, which I'm a different person now,
of course,
like I thought that was the answer. And I didn't know any better. And so I wanted to share that. And you know what? You're right. No one gave a shit.
Yeah, no, I know. It was like when I saw that clip, I'm like, are the fucking microphones on? Like they literally ran that story like you were pouring your heart out. It was just very awkward.
I felt it was awkward too. It was even more awkward after when people were like, yeah, good job. Or didn't say anything.
Didn't know how to react.
I mean, a couple people did reach out to me. A couple people did say thank you. And viewers, I don't do it for the management, and I don't do it for my coworkers. I mean, I do in a way because they are the audience, but I do it for the people, the one person sitting at home. And you know what? Further to that, okay? I used to do this Facebook Live on the weekends, and people would tune in. You know, AJ. Oh, oh my God, you were right there with me.
Yes.
And so once I decided not to do it, like, I don't know, I was busy, forgot, whatever.
Yeah.
A guy reaches out to me and says, I really missed you guys this weekend because it was like this camaraderie of like these viewers. And he's like, I suffer from suicidal thoughts and I feel very alone and I don't have a lot of friends. And when I tune in and I'm part of the group, I feel like these are my friends. And I realized that, right? Wow. And so you got to give. And I don't do it for people that don't appreciate. I do it for the people that do.
As someone that knew Anthony Bourdain personally, what do you think had happened? Do you think that was a combination of just overworking, of masking pain? I mean, and I'm assuming you all were friends for years prior to that.
I worked with him. It actually was one of my first jobs in TV. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
And I worked on a show that was like the precursor to all of his shows.
Right.
It was awesome. And my best friend worked with him too. You know, I really can't say because I hadn't been in touch with him directly in a while, but we always looked up to him and we always knew he was curmudgeonly and like he'd be like, oh gosh, like, because the producers would ask him to do something and he'd be like, oh boy, like, you know, he didn't want to make it a dog and pony show. And so,
Right.
you know, that was just his way of being. I really can't say, but he lived for his daughter. Like he
Yeah.
really lived for his daughter. And so
It was so shocking.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
That one was really tough. It was
that
really tough
really- yeah.
because you know, you don't know what's going on with someone, but outwardly he just, and Parts Unknown was such an incredible show.
Unbelievable.
I mean, talk about mix. You know, that's what you strive to have, like a mix of a show that's not only gorgeous, but it's educational, it's funny, it's fun, it highlights who he is. I mean, it was just such a you know, impactful show. So
Yeah, you can't. And when anyone finds out that you know him, you talk about that for the next half hour because they
Oh,
all want to know
yeah,
was he
of
the way
course.
he was. He was one of the first people I had on a web show that I had in New York that really got me my job at Pix 11 in New York, and he did it just for free and just to be nice. And so he changed my
Wow.
career and he changed my life.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Another label whisperer.
Yeah, he really was. Rest in peace, Tony. We love you.
You're a confidence coach now. So tell us what that means.
So I help journalists. Maybe they have 1 or 2 years worth of experience and they're working who knows where. They could be working in Paducah, Kentucky. I got clients all over the place. Fargo, North Dakota. I help journalists to be really good on camera. And now I'm helping hosts. I have someone who I work with at BuzzFeed. I also have business owners, personal trainers, coaches. I help them to do videos because if you're not on video, well, where are you?
Right,
Like you have
yeah.
to have video. People want to get to know you. They want to know you. They can buy a house from anyone, but they want to know about that real estate broker and what makes them do what they do. So I'm taking all the stuff that I do and I'm kind of infusing it in this business, but I'm realizing it's not these like tips where, oh, stand like this and say it like this. It's get connected to how you save lives. Because you guys, I'll tell you, you guys save lives. You may not think that when you come in here to do this podcast, you save lives, but there's someone who you're lifting up.
It's amazing. Like when you said that about, you know, your Facebook Live, I mean, when I'm feeling dead, like, because, you know, we're in a whole new, it's the wild, wild west of media and entertainment. You know, all bets are off now. You know, the old gatekeepers of working for a Channel 9 or a Fox or whatever, and then they would elevate you to your own talk show. They don't exist anymore.
Do it yourself.
You don't
create
need
that
them.
shit.
Right. Create yourself. You're seeing these YouTube stars. You're seeing these Instagram stars. These people are, you know, so we're always in the business now of like, what works, what, like finding that combination and doing it on our own and building this business. So, but I'll do the same thing. Well, I'll do something like small or just like not even think about it. And I'll get this like incredible message of someone that's like, you have no idea, but you like changed my life 3 years ago when you talked about your weight loss journey. And you're like, oh my, it just hits you.
Yeah.
Because the things like a lot of times, we're afraid or we put it out and we think, did anyone care? And then, but there's someone listening that is like holding on to that.
Oh my God. Yeah. And here's the thing I get connected to is like when I help a business owner, like I have this amazing business owner who I help, Body Positive Boot Camp is her business, right? So she does workouts for members of the LGBTQ community. So if she helps someone to get their workout on who might not feel comfortable going into a gym, guess what? I helped her. So I helped that person, really. I'm really connected to how we're all helping other people.
Right.
It's just amazing what I've been doing. And so I've got this website, it's under my name, and I've got these awesome guides that are free. So I've got one, how to GTFO out of your own way.
Okay.
And then
Ooh,
how
I
to,
like that.
Yeah.
I need to get the fuck out of my own way
Hell
sometimes.
yeah.
Okay.
And I've got another one, how to be big market even when you're not, because people want to emulate the success that I've had. So if you're in Paducah, Kentucky, or if you're in Jacksonville, Florida, or wherever you are and you want to do what I did, I can give you some tips.
What's one tip? People will be going to your website, but with the GTFO, with get the fuck out of the way, what's your number one piece of advice?
The way you feel about yourself is how you project. Don't think that you can lie. Don't think that you can
Wow.
feel like, oh my gosh,
Mask
look at
your-
her, she's better than me, and walk in and be great on camera. You got to be connected to how you rock. And if you don't think you rock, oh, call me. I'll let you know how you rock because you do just by being you.
I wanted
Wait,
to shout out.
Yeah. I was going to say.
One person, my best friend Catherine, she says, speaking of people that we don't even know that we affect positively, she says that you run an amazing Facebook group for TV news women.
Yes.
She says you're a boss, and I didn't even know that you ran that Facebook group. That's incredible.
I forgot to tell you.
Well, on top of everything else she does, she runs a Facebook group, and I just wanted to shout her out because she is one of your biggest fans from afar. So,
Where is she?
I think she's in the South. Right now she's in Kentucky. She's in news, and so she went back to where she was, but I met her in Syracuse University, so.
Hit me
She's
up,
all
girl.
over.
Hit me up.
Oh, she's a part of the group. She's going to hit you up. Yeah.
Deborah, I was going to say, tell people where they can follow you. You know, we end every show with 4 things that are popping. So it's everything that's popping in pop culture. So we want you to weigh in.
Yeah.
But where can people follow you on Instagram? Because you are so inspiring. I love your story. And I love the juxtaposition of like, you know, you see you and you just look like this, like rich, like well put together, all this stuff.
I love Rich. This is a $5 shirt.
Well, I mean,
Man, am I good at this.
You know,
Good.
I love that you're just like the story is opposite the picture, which is so true if we're all being real with ourselves. But it's very hard for people to be real and transparent.
Yeah, you got to you create yourself. So if I can wear a $5 shirt and make you think I'm rich, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Doing great.
I love you, Sarah.
Yes, I love you too.
Mwah. So hit me up on Instagram is my place where I put on Instagram stories and I do posts and all sorts of stuff where I let you know how awesome you are as you. And so it's Deborah Alfarone, DebraAlfarone. And you can find me there on Twitter and Facebook and all sorts of stuff. But Insta's where I hang.
Amazing.
It's lucky that she has one of those names that nobody else has, so you can use it on all.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Yeah,
All
Alfarone
Deborah
is
Alfarone.
unique.
It's
Yeah, you
unique.
can have
You can
it.
have it on
Find
Instagram,
me another
Twitter.
one. There's no other Alfarone.
There is.
Is
No.
there? Well, that's
Everyone's
my
Andrea
family.
Lopez, so I had to be AJ.
Everyone's a
That's
Frasier.
true.
It's
Your
like,
fam,
oh,
yeah.
God.
Ain't nobody a Frasier.
There's tons of Frasers. There's so many Sarah Frasers. She's an artist. She's a designer.
She's everything. She's
It's so hard to
everything.
get your URL. All right, 4 things that are popping. Here's everything going on in pop culture news. Jordan Woods, of course, who allegedly hooked up with Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian's baby daddy, is going to do Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I was initially very excited about this video because Jordan put this video up of her walking into Jada's table talk. However, I now hear reports, though, that she signed a non-disclosure agreement with the Kardashians, so you're not going to get the real scoop.
We won't get any dirt.
You're not going to get the dirt. I'm really angry about this because I really wanted to get all the stuff. But they say it's going to be kind of a fluff piece. Like it will touch on it a little bit, but it's not going to go. It'll go deep in other ways, like about the Kardashians, but not about the Tristan Thompson thing. I'm disappointed.
Jada's going to get to it. Come on. Jada ain't going to let her walk on that.
Jada's going to get to the bottom.
Yeah, go, Jada, go.
Or it's for publicity. I don't know.
I know. Do you think it's real? We see we're like so like the Kardashians in March. There, it's like season whatever 13. We're like, is it real?
Yeah, maybe it's for the new season, right?
I don't know that anything is real, but I don't know. I just can't look away. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's real or not, but damn, like the pictures they post, I'm sorry. I can't look away.
I know. I love them.
Whether
too.
it's
I'm
a train
obsessed.
wreck or it's amazing. I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm addicted.
Murray watches it all the time.
How do you feel about this? Did you see Selma Blair, the actress, on Good Morning America? Selma Blair in some amazing movies and has just such an incredible career. Cruel Intentions is probably the one you remember her from, and Legally Blonde. She sat down with Robin Roberts this week. MS has now made it even difficult for her to speak. Yeah, she's battling MS, and she even broke down on the red carpet of the Oscars, just talking about how amazing it was to be there. She rocks now. She has to walk with a cane. She says that she reached out to Michael J. Fox, he has Parkinson's disease, who gave her some advice. Blair says that he got in touch with her and they began the conversation. He really helped her and he gives her hope. She also has a son. And when she has MS flare-ups, they affect, everything from her voice. She says that for a long time she was medicating by drinking alcohol to mask the pain until she could figure out exactly what was wrong with her.
She still looks incredible.
She looks incredible.
We have a little blurb if you want to play the video of her voice.
Let's play here. When I saw this,
Patent leather, the real pink diamond.
I spent time with Selma at her home.
Beautiful home.
Just days before her big night out. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. I am very happy to see you being able to just put out what being in the middle of an aggressive form of multiple sclerosis is like. So my
oh man, it's so
having a
brave, but man,
platform.
it breaks your heart. And just like you just talk about for the grace of God, you know? I mean, what a unbelievable diagnosis for her.
And for her to talk about it, it is
Right.
so important because for every Selma Blair, there are other people. Everybody knows somebody who's touched by this in their family.
Right.
I really thank her for doing that. It couldn't have been easy,
Right.
But she's the
No.
person to do it.
Oh, that was heartbreaking to watch the full interview. It's up at goodmorningamerica.com. R. Kelly got some help with his bailout from a restaurateur in Chicago. A 47-year-old woman from suburban Chicago who's very wealthy, owns multiple restaurants, is the one who freed him from jail. According to the Chicago Tribune, the unidentified woman, actually she has been identified, I should say, Daily Mail outed who she was, bailed him out of $100,000 and gave him other money. According to news outlets, to get him out of jail. She says that she doesn't believe that the impact of bailing him out will have any effect on her businesses because she says that that's what you do for friends.
Okay.
Doesn't he have money?
No, he's dead ass broke.
I actually think he's broke.
He's broke. He was worth up to $150 million. But think about over the years, all the lawyer fees, all the people he's paid to shut up and go away, all these women. He's had all these non-disclosure agreements, these silence clause. He
Doesn't seem like a good business move for her.
I know, right? For
That's
this
what I'm
woman that
thinking.
owns restaurants. I was going to say, and they even published, okay, wait, hold
A
on.
good karma move for her. Let me start with that and then go to business.
And her identity was revealed, but there's no picture of her.
I think there's even a picture of her.
Love to know who this woman is.
And they named some of her restaurants.
Oh, good. Okay, so
I would like to go to their Facebook pages and see what the comments are.
Valencia Love is 47 years old. She also owns a daycare. She owns a number of restaurants in the Chicago area, including Love in the Blue, as well as a child daycare facility, the Lord and Child Christian Daycare. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that. I thought we were against R. Kelly. I thought everybody as a community was against R. Kelly.
Well, I think everyone is, but obviously she's okay.
Except for her. Except for her.
The one person that would offer him bail.
She wrote on her Yelp page after getting inundated on Love on the Blue, I just help out a friend. If he's guilty, let him pay through the courts. He was released on Monday night, 5 p.m., thanks to her help, and then went to McDonald's for dinner.
But what you do matters. And so, if he is guilty, he's not been proven guilty. We understand that. We worked in news. We know if you're not proven guilty, we can't say you're guilty, but it don't look good.
It does not look good. I also...
there's no way he's going down now. It's like Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey might as well put himself in jail right now. Harvey Weinstein as well. Bill Cosby.
Louis
R.
C.K.?
Kelly.
Well, no, wait, that's different.
I don't know. But he's a little different. He's on the same path, though. With the comments, I wouldn't put him on the same.
He's not going to
platform.
jail. Okay.
Right.
Sorry,
right.
Louis C.K., I take that back. But I don't like him anymore.
Yeah. No, I think you're not alone. I think people are.
Are we ignoring the fact that R. Kelly was in jail and the first place he goes to is McDonald's for a Big Mac?
Why did
Well, he doesn't have a lot of extra money, apparently.
He's on
gotta
the
be on the
dollar
dollar
menu. I
menu?
mean, the poor guy. I mean, after all those hits, Remix to Ignition, Bump and Grind, I mean, you don't have $1 left. I mean, that was a lot of work.
All he's hungry for is a Big Mac?
Well, wait a minute.
And some
She
soggy
bailed him
fries?
out. Why didn't he go to her restaurant?
That's what I'm saying. Oh,
That would be even worse publicity. Can you imagine? He goes
First
to Love in
place
the
he
Blue.
goes.
She's already got enough issues.
Yikes.
Poor thing.
Poor thing.
Whoa.
Last story, Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper's steamy Oscar performance ended up getting a reaction from the actor's ex-wife, Jennifer Esposito. What do we think, by the way? She says, so Jennifer Esposito married Bradley Cooper for 4 months. She says, despite a slew of red flags, she ended up getting married to him. Esposito says that Cooper has an enormous ego. It's all about Cooper. He's bizarre, moody, and can lash out with anger.
I actually loved hearing her accounts of Bradley because it made me feel better. From the outside.
Right, because I thought he was like all that in a bag of chips.
Exactly. Right? We think he's beautiful, amazing, talented. Lady Gaga looks at him like she wants to just have all of his babies. And then we find out that he's actually an asshole.
Comedian David Spade
Love that.
posted a screenshot of the pair's shallow performance at the Oscars on Instagram with the caption, "Is there any chance these two aren't fucking?" Esposito wrote, "Ha!" She was married to Cooper for 4 months between 2006 and 2007.
Also, who is she to talk? They were married for 4 months.
Well, but she was, I guess, dating him before.
Very
hey,
true.
I didn't marry him for 4 months, and I'm still weighing in on it. But
Sarah and I always have opinions about everything, and we have no grounds.
Okay, but what about this arena shake
True.
thing? Like, what's going on that she sits there in between them and just is smiling?
Smiling the whole time.
Weird. It feels weird.
She gave Gaga a big hug, acted like nothing was happening. She wasn't jealous at all.
Why didn't she say something?
Because I
would love to
actually
see her
believe
response.
I really believe that. I think Gaga is into him. I think Gaga really is holding out hope, but I actually don't think he's into Gaga.
Wow.
I really don't. I think he's using and abusing Gaga for all the great publicity. He's apparently a master manipulator. And I think he's into Irina. I really do.
So it's
He
all lining up.
seems
I mean, how
like-
could you not be into Irina?
Irina's pretty hot, I do have to say.
Pretty hot. Who?
Yeah. And
But she doesn't speak. Does she speak?
She's just a mute sex doll.
Mute sex
Gorgeous, beautiful. She's there for the gorgeous looks.
And I think that's why he's with her, because he's not going to be with Lady Gaga. He's not going to be with all her little monsters who like her. He's got a huge fucking ego. He doesn't want to be with Gaga. She's also one of the most talented human beings on the planet currently. You think he's going to compete with that? No way. We've never heard Irina say 3 words. Of course he loves that.
I think what we're seeing right there is what's happening. Like, I think that there is something going on between them, and they're not going to be public about it. I think something has happened. I think they've had a moment or two, and he's going to be with Irina, and she's just going to be doing what she's doing,
having her own little life.
Yeah. All right, we'll have to see how it plays out. Deborah Alfarone is our special guest today. We love her. Follow her on social media. We didn't even get to talk about it, but this Sunday night, Crashing HBO. It's Pete Holmes' show. It's my acting debut.
Yes!
So I play
HBO.
a radio DJ, Cindy. Pete Holmes comes on our radio show with comedian Jessica Kirsten. I would love for you to tune in. It's going to be an amazing moment. I mean, I don't know. I'm always like, everyone's like, why aren't you blowing this up? Why aren't you like promoting the shit out of this? Because I don't know if I'm going to be on 2 minutes or 30 seconds.
Well, plus it airs at 10 p.m. and Sarah goes to bed
And
at
I'll be
8.
dead
so
asleep.
She'll be dead asleep by that time.
Gotta hit the reruns.
But
Anyway,
other people will be up, and they should be watching. Damn it!
watch it. Marie, you're amazing. You're an inspiring confidence dog. We love you. You're amazing. Don't.
What do I do with my paws?
Yes, don't bark all at once. Deborah, you're fabulous.
Oh,
my
I
God.
love you. Can I come back every day with Marie?
Please come back. We want you to
Woohoo!
drink more and talk more trash about
Yeah.
Channel 9. Come on. We need all the dirt.
We need like a confidence segment, right?
I was just being honest.
Yeah.
That wasn't trash. That was honesty.
Right, but
was
then we wanted
honesty.
to get trashy.
I
you
know. I didn't go there, but
Bye,
after the show.
everybody. Bye. Rock the cast pod. HeyFrase, like it. Rock the cast pod. Rock the cast pod.